What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dice House and DCO commentary. I wanted to bring this video here today because, yeah, I've got into a discussion earlier with somebody and everything, talking about, tactics and, PvP and everything, what's cheap, what's not, and everything. And, Snowman aside, Snowman's cheap, alright? You're not going to see a Snowman being used in a competitive fives match or anything like that, or any competitive PvP match. It's cheesy as hell. That being said, though, there are some tactics that some people may think are cheap, but honestly, they're good, strong tactics. They're solid tactics to use in PvP, and that's why people use them. And obviously, they're effective if you're crying about them. But I wanted to go over just the basics right now. A lot of people on it, we're trying to grow the PvP community. All right, some leagues out there, starting to expand a little bit. Some leagues are stepping up and all that. So I'm gonna try and do my part to do these little, like competitive PvP tips. That's what we'll call them. And some videos I'll be doing here, coming out here in the future and all that. So basically, all right, start off. All right, obviously, the biggest thing you want to do is have a balanced group. Whether you are doing fours or fives, you want to have a balanced group. You want to have at least one tank. One tank is all you need, to be honest with you. But one tank, at least one DPS, or at least one controller, and at least one healer. All right, that's doing fours. Now, if you're doing fives, obviously you want to have a second healer. You may want to forego the tank and go with a second DPS. Honestly, though, there are benefits to having a tank in your group and not having just a second DPS in there. Yeah, sure, your damage out, your burns are going to be a little bit faster on the group and all that. You're going to put a lot more pressure on the healers and everything, but you can't take away the effect of removing POT from the controller, which leads to my next topic I'm talking about here. Your basic roles as in arenas whenever you're grouped up. All right, you healers, you are there to heal, and you are there to put out block breakers on whoever's being focus fired. You see American Hero right there with his dual pistols. He's doing his job. He's doing his job. You see Carlos right there with the rifle. He's doing his job. All right, that's basically what you do as a healer. All right, you throw out the block breakers. You throw out the heals. That is your only job in arenas. You're not there to DPS. You're not there to some healers, especially like sorcery, they can get away with this dogging crap that's going on right now. In my opinion, dogging's a bit cheesy, simply because there's a lag issue when coming out of that form, or any form in this game that can be a bit crippling to a group. That's why you see so many so much dogging going on, to be honest with you. I mean, it's really, it's really frustrating. But that is your main job as the healer. DPS, obviously, your main job is to, kill whatever you're focus firing. DPS should be the one to be calling out the focus fire. Obviously, how do you call that out? You have to have a mic. Everybody has to have a mic in your group. All right, if you're going to be going into competitive matches, you have to have a group. Let's see. Yes, DPS is does all the focus firing. Controllers there to keep track of the supercharges, which everybody should be running a support supercharge. All right, it is speed drain for the DPS or in controllers. If you're not super speed, obviously you want to have word of power. If you are a healer power, though, and you're DPSing, say like your electricity and you're DPSing, then you want to use a power like Invigorate or Regen for nature DPS is there. If you are sorcery, though, you don't, you're DPSing, you don't want to run with Transcendence as a support supercharge. You want to either use Speed Drain if you're super speed, or Word of Power. Obviously, super speed is the movement mode of choice for competitive, simply because it's a lot easier to kite around on. Although, with the current mechanics of like the lasso and all that, you put a good ground on it, like I did Jabba right there, you'll see that that's very effective. I mean, it kind of cuts down on the kiting quite a bit whenever you do that. So, but everybody needs to be running a support supercharge. If you are a healer, obviously you want to run with your invig, your regens, or your transcendence. Some sorceries like to use arbiter instead of transcendence. You make sure that your group knows that and is aware of it, so they can make sure that they're getting the supercharges on track and everything to make sure that everybody's got power coming out. Tanks. Whenever you are sitting on a controller, if a controller is being focus fired, I mean, basically tanks your main role in PvP. It should be, you go out there and you kill and destroy the tanks. However, the way things are right now, crits being nerfed and everything like that, it's just not a viable solution right now, or a viable tactic for us to do. Just sit on the controller the whole time. So you're basically acting as a secondary DPS in these matches. If you are wearing tank PvP gear, you are doing it wrong. If you are speccing dominance or restoration mods into your gear, you are doing it wrong. You need to be straight up. Basically, you're speccing your skill points and setting your gear up for DPSing. Alright, when it comes to your powers and all that, obviously you want to make sure that you've got your debuff removals on there. You want to make sure you've got a power that's going to ground. I mean, that's another part of your job in here. You're going to have your ground power, whether it's lasso or something else that you've got available to you that is going to ground your target. And obviously you want to have powers that remove the POT from the controllers whenever you switch over to controllers. Lasso works really good for removing the POT. Flashpoint does the same, and so does Inferno and Inflame for fire. And the equivalents for Ice and Earth are there also for you to use. But Lasso is an excellent power to use for debuffing and not debuffing, but removing the POT from the controller and for grounding them. But getting in more into some of the basics and everything, it's like I said, everybody needs to run a support supercharge, no matter what it is. If you're super speed, obviously you want to run with speed drain. Speed drain comes out faster. All right. Plus it puts out a dot on everybody around you whenever you pop it. Word of power, you get a little bit more power out with word of power. Okay, but you've got the downfall of, or the drawbacks of, the longer cast time. So it doesn't, the actual power doesn't come out until, the cast time's over. No matter, even if you clip the animation with another power or something, you're going to have to wait for that power to come out. So you have to time your casting of word of power carefully. Also, other super charges that you would use for support to help with power out, invigorate, regen, and like I said, you don't want to use transcendence if you're DPSing now. But yeah, the transcendence, regen, and invigorate are the ones you want to use if you're healing, whether you're electricity, sorcery, or nature. Getting into some of the other basics here. All right, so controllers, basically, your controllers, your DPS, and your tanks are the ones that are going to be on the pile doing all the focus fire work. Both the healers are going to be looking to either farming block breakers on, throwing block breakers out on whatever target's being focus fired, and the other one needs to be like keeping track of who is doing block breakers for the other team and interrupting those. You'll see Carlos here, and throughout this match, he will turn and he will do a lunge on American Hero, for instance, and knock him, to keep him from throwing block breakers up. Because while you are focus firing on a target, the other team is focus firing on a target on, a member of your team as well. So you have to make sure that you keep that in mind. If you are being focus fired and all that, try and see if find whoever is block breaking, for the enemy team, whoever's block breaking you, and lunge them. Get yourself an immunity off of them. Farm immunities off those guys for all day long, if they're going to keep throwing block breakers on you while they're focus firing you, and that'll keep you alive a lot longer. As useful as blocking is whenever you're being focus fired, it can be dangerous, especially if somebody's throwing a block breaker on you. So you want to make sure that you keep an eye out for that. When it comes to the focus fire, each team's going to have their own tactics and tricks for determining when to focus, who the focus fire, and also determining when and who to hard switch onto. It all depends on the group that you're running into. The most important thing you guys need to do, though, when you are getting yourselves into competitive PvP, and for anybody who wants to sync up for queues and all that, or learn how to do it and get into some matches with some of these leagues that are coming through here and stepping up and syncing queues and all that, join the 5v5 chat channel. All right, if you guys don't know how to join a voice chat channel, look for me or Carlos or basically anybody you've seen in any of my videos here. Ask them for an invite. Send them a tell. Let them know that you're wanting to bring your league or your group into competitive fives, or you want to sync up for some competitive matches. To get your feet wet or something like that. Send them a tell. Ask them for an invite to the voice chat channel, and I know Carlos especially would be more than willing to send you guys a voice chat invite to that, just so because we're wanting to grow the PvP community. We're wanting to get more interest in PvP, so we can get some more love for PvP in the game, basically. Join the chat. Join that chat. People are there, are in that chat like almost pretty much all day. And you can find somebody in there pretty much any time during the day, and they'll be willing to help you out. Help you out with, your basics, of how to sync up queues and everything like that. But the most important thing, the very most important thing you guys need to take from any match that you get into with competitives, PvP, is do not take a loss seriously. Do not take it to heart. Do not get too upset. I hate losing. I'll tell you right now, I hate losing. Nobody in competitive PvP likes to lose, but at the same time you got to be willing to take those losses, because it happens to everybody. Nobody can stay on top forever. All right, nobody is the absolute best. Somebody's going to come along eventually and pull out a win on you, and it happens. It happens to everybody. It happens to me, all the time, to be honest with you. And there's groups out there that are some of the best in this game that have had to take losses and all that, just because that's what happens. It just happens. But don't take the loss personally. You're probably going to go into, especially people who aren't used to it. I promise you're probably going to end up going into matches and you're going to get 1,000-0'd and all that, just because. There are some people in this game who, to be honest with you, think they're really good at PvP because they, get together with their groups or with their league and they go into arenas and they just like mow over pugs, every day. You guys are in for an eye-opening experience the first time you queue in against another pre-made. All right, especially some of these leagues that are queuing up now, putting out some good damage, awesome heals, and basically owning in arenas right now. So, like I said, don't take it personally. Don't take it to heart. Don't take it as a bad thing. If you lose, it's a learning experience. PvP is a learning experience. I've been playing this game for almost 2 years now, and I'm still learning stuff in it. All right, I'm still learning, little tricks and everything. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked the video, please do so by giving it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I look forward to seeing you guys in arenas. I really do. And whether it's either on my team, in a pickup group, or if it's facing you on the other side, I look forward to seeing you all. All right? Don't be afraid to step up, though. All right? Everybody's got to learn. Until next time, you guys all take care. Bye.